Hey guys, so I don't get to do World of Warcraft stuff very much anymore since I don't really play it. Although Revelation WoW is officially coming out tomorrow, so I'll be able to play that, and I don't have to worry about my characters disappearing. But we are on MMO Champion, and this person claims to have taken this leak from a private game dev Discord. So posting on a throwaway for obvious reasons, here it is, the actual leak taken from a private game dev Discord last night. So they're going to be talking about 10.0, the next expansion. New Xpac is straight up called the Dragon Isles. All marketing being put together has a tagline: Azeroth has awoken. New zone, the Dragon Isles. New race, Black Dragons. New system, world shaping. Now, Dragon Isles has been a place that's mentioned in vanilla. It was supposed to be a raiding zone. Then they were like, oh, we don't want to do it right now. We know that Wrathion was going there or looking for it. So Dragon Isles has popped up several times recently. So after coming back from the Shadowlands, it would make sense to go to a place where, Wrathion's been, trying to find answers and stuff like that. Now, a Black Dragon, it would make sense, considering dragons can also have a humanoid form, kind of like a worgen. And you can also see in game when you run into these dragons, they can be most classes actually. So I think it would be a great addition. It'd be a very unique addition to the game. We have stuff like worgen, but in odder ones like the Pandaren or the Draenei, but to have like a dragon, that'd be really cool. I think that it would most likely start as like one of the whole it'll be like a Miss Pandaria thing where it's all one place, and then you can kind of choose what faction you want to go with, which I think that'd be cool. I think we definitely need more races that can kind of choose what faction they want to join. New system, world shaping. No idea what that would be. End of Shadowlands. In the fight with the jailer, Azeroth is ruptured. You beat the jailer and save the planet, but there's consequences. Some stay a while and listen, even after the fight described the state of Azeroth. Magni reverts back to diamond form. 9.2.5 pre-expansion event being put together is huge. Lots of reuse events like earthquakes and invasions, but also a massive time walking event that's being designed as a mini season of mastery across lots of Azeroth centric dungeons and raids. Devs want players familiar with the history of Azeroth before 10.0, a big tour of old events and lore, crazed Trogs, Quilboar, Mantid, and Elemental invasions across most of Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, Northrend, and Pandaria. New world boss, Garadon, the son of Galakron. Jesus Christ, how many sons of Galakron are there? New Xpac. 10.0 cinematic being put together is the biggest Blizz has ever produced. The entire Cin team has been developing this for over a year. All Shadowlands pre-rendered cinematics were scrapped, and whole team moved onto this. It is a love letter to Azeroth, mirrors the original WoW launch cinematic, and ends with Azeroth being born. As a result of the Jailer's assault, Azeroth the Eternal is born from the world's soul. She's a dragon, sort of. Now that's another thing that we've been hinted to. is Azeroth finally awakening. Kind of after being stabbed by Sargeras, she kind of became restless, and I don't think she was in a sleep anymore. She became restless, and she was in pain, and she essentially kind of became like Argus, where she was just writhing in pain. We helped her. But that was the one thing people have always wondered. It's like, what happens after Azeroth awakens? Does the planet just disappear? I mean, Argus was already kind of destroyed, but Argus was the world soul was able to emerge, and the planet was perfectly fine. So apparently there's, not only the destruction of the planet possibly from a world soul awakening, but they can just emerge and the planet will be spared. All world souls are unique, and Azeroth's essence has indirectly shaped the planet for eons. Dragons are tied directly to Azeroth, who is the sort of dragon progenitor. So that would mean technically, that would make sense with Galakrond, who is progenitor of all dragons. Galakrond is the one who just couldn't stop eating, and he just kept eating like dragons, and he kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually he was able to just like spit up undead dragons. And then it took the dragon flights and Keeper Tyr to stop them, and Keir got his hand bitten off. And then that's when the dragon flights were blessed by the Titan Keepers and Titans with intelligence and powers that their own little, like those Dormoods, Keeper of Time, and stuff like that. But Galakrond was the first. But Azeroth has always had some kind of connection with dragons, it seems, more than anything else. So, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Once players reach Dragon Isles, they will work directly with Azeroth to reshape the world. Story here is that the planet has taken a beating over the last couple of decades and is having dire consequences for everyone living there. Azeroth has a character described sort of like Lilo from Fifth Element. A supreme being, but with the mind of a child. Players need to help her unlock her powers to heal the planet. She's in a temple on Dragon Isles with Thrall and Wrathion. Lots of Earth war as the three of them try to do what Deathwing couldn't. Okay, Azeroth has her own talent tree. Looks very much like the old school talent trees from Classic. Players can help her by training her via this tree. Each talent is also usable to players through the World Bond ability. So it kind of sounds like maybe they're mixing like Azerite gear and like the Covenants together, where you level her up and you might get new abilities and stuff like that, but it also levels her up, and then it's between you both, and so maybe they're trying to combine two into one instead of having one or the other. It sounds like it's a pretty cool idea, kind of like with Chromie, even though it's a little totally different thing. You still kind of had things you could choose. It helped her, it helped you, stuff like that. So that would be pretty cool. New abilities are like Covenant abilities, but no additional locked-in choices. Everyone gets the same abilities. Abilities have second effects depending on the zone you're in. One example is an ability like Abomination Room that also works as a grapple hook. Oh, that's cool. Dragon Isle zones will change over time via world shaping. Some pretty cool massive changes, like a whole world turning from a desert into a huge forest. The zone is heavily elf focused, with night elves trying to discover the way to restore Teldrassil with Azrael's help. You plant trees and tend to a huge forest here, like a massive version of the Mists of Pandaria farm. World shaping unlocks new abilities in each zone. Water walking, flying, teleporting, spectral sight, treasure finding. Spectral sight. I mean, spectral would mean ghosts and whatnot, so maybe we get to see dragons that might have lived there and communicate with them and get their stories and learn secrets. And some old zones in Eastern Kingdom and Kalimdor will be getting big updates during the expansion, which would kind of make sense. I mean, it's about time these places have gotten an update. Black dragons. Works like Worgans. Customize your dragon form and humanoid appearance. Humanoid can be any race, including allied races. I mean, that's also part of the lore. You know, they can choose any race they want. That's why some of them are humans, some of them are night elves, some of them are blood elves. You know, they're dragons, you know, by nature, but they can choose. I mean, look at Chromie. She chose a freaking gnome. So they can choose whatever they want to be. So that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. And I wonder, so then if you're able to choose any race, would that lock in whether you're on the Alliance or Horde, or would you still be able to choose? Because the humanoid form, that's just, you know, that's just a form you can take. It's not what the dragon truly is. So would you still be able to choose, or like, oh, I want mine to be humanoid? Oh, that means you're on the Horde, or you're part of the Alliance. Oh, I want mine to be a troll, so you know it has to be on the Horde. Or can you choose like Pandaren? Including allied races, extra customization options for humanoid form, including horns, tails, jewelry, scales, as well as effects like burning eyes and molten blood, which is a cool new effect. Dragon form is mainly used for travel, and 2 racial abilities. Story will explain why black dragons need to learn how to fight like mortals as one of the classes. Black dragons can be warriors, warrior, mage, rogue, druid, hunter, warlock, priest, shaman, paladin, all the original WoW classes, which makes sense. Like I said, if you look at the black dragons and the dragonkin and all that, they can be everything. So that would make sense. Black dragon druid lore and shapeshift forms are super fun. Rathian has been trying to restore the black dragon fight since Kata, that we know. Players are new dragons that Rathian has been overseeing in the Dragon Isles. Rathian has recruited / kidnapped class trainers from all over Azeroth to train his new flight. That sounds like something he would do. And not in a mean, brutal way, but he's like, you're coming with me to train my new flight. But if you choose not to, bad things will happen. I can't promise your safety if you choose not to. So yeah, I can totally see Rathian doing that. That's why I love him. I love Rathian and his character. The Warlock Trainer will cause some players to flip out. What do you mean? Warlock Trainer will cause some players to flip out. So is it a character we haven't seen in a while? Like a huge lore character? I mean, that would be the only reason to mention the Warlock Trainer will cause some players to flip out, because maybe it's a huge, important lore character. Gonna like be fucking Gul'dan or something. Yes, I've resurrected Gul'dan to train you all. Since the battle with Deathwing, all dragon aspects have been losing their magic, obviously. New dragons, players, need to learn how to fight alongside mortal races to save their race. Rathian's big thing is reversing the loss of magic from dragons completely and protecting his flight. No big bad in 10.0, but there are infinite dragons, Netherwing, and some new Dragon Isle specific proto races. There's a pretty fun Trog progenitor race that's actually super advanced and intelligent. Going back to smaller zone contained stories, big focus on discovery, soft rebooting Azeroth the planet, and setting up future conflicts. I mean, even if this was fake, this does sound legit, and it sounds like it would be fun. Having a new, we're due for a new race. We haven't had a new race. Let's see, we had. I mean, we don't count like allied races. We didn't have any new. When was the time we had a new race? Like, was it a Battle for Azeroth? Yeah, with the or those allied races. I think the actual like race would have been Pandaren, right? But everything else has been like allied race. Hang on. All right, so I'm on the World of Warcraft site, and I was thinking about like the Zandalari and stuff. No, but these were allied races, so we haven't had a race since the fucking Pandaren, it seems. So yeah, we are overdue for an actual new race, not a allied race. The last time we had a race was Pandaren, and then Legion we had the new class, which was Demon Hunter. And we really haven't had any change since then. Huh. So yeah, having Black Dragons as a new race would make sense if the expansion is in fact Dragon Isles. Wow, has it really been that long? Wow. And to have a new, I mean, making them a new class, I'm considering you can be all of these. Black Dragon, Druid lore, and shapeshift forms are super fun. It'll be fun. No, that can't be. It just, yeah, these are all allied races. Like, right there, allied races. Why did it feel like the Zandalari and the Tolteran were legit, like, races? For some reason, it feels like they were legit races. I don't know. I guess because we spent so much time with them, and I mean that's pretty much where we first started. If you were Horde, you went to, Zandalar and Kul Tiras for human the Alliance. But no, they were allied race apparently. Huh. But everything else seems like be legit. I mean, I hope we go to the Dragon Isles. I've been wanting to go to the Dragon Isles for ages. I mean, ever since I saw that Dragon Isles was a freaking raid that was removed, I've wanted to go there. The whole thing with Azeroth being the progenitor of dragons, I'm having a hard time believing that. But, I mean, it's Blizzard. They've done weirder shit. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I do like the whole Azeroth thing, like, kind of like combining like Azerite gear and like Covenant abilities and like into one, where it affects you, it affects her. I think that's pretty cool. We need more stuff like that. Now, I don't know if she'll be able to come out and help you fight, because actually that would be too powerful. She's a freaking world soul. She annihilates everything. Yeah, I'm interested in this world, this reshaping, saying that the world will change. You know, how it will change, like, oh, it's going to be, you know, forest, and then it can be desert, and uh, where was it this? Yeah, some pretty massive changes, like a whole zone turning from a desert into a forest. Maybe that means time flows differently on the Dragon Isles, because in real life that can happen. I mean, a lot of Australia, we did a video about fossils that were found there. A lot of Australia used to be a huge forest, and then it turned into a desert. So it's possible that the time, kind of like the Timeless Isle, maybe time just flows differently on the Dragon Isles, which is, when you think about it, world shaping. So to go from a desert to a forest, or vice versa, it sounds like time is flowing differently or faster. So that way, which would also explain the progenitor of Trogs being there, but be how they're so advanced. Because even though they were the first and there's others that spread out, they would continue to be there, and they obviously evolved a lot faster than all the other Trogs, because the time there flows differently. That would actually really be cool. And it would also kind of go into time walking events if time flows differently. Although time walking, that's for the pre-expansion. But yeah, maybe time flows differently on the Dragon Isles. That's why so many of these progenitors are there. But they're, like I said, the Trogs are advanced compared to the Trogs we know, because they've had so much, not more time, but just the world's shaped around them, and, you know, sped up, and so. But like I said, I really like it. Generally, I like it. But I mean, the odds of it being real, I'm saying 50-50, because they kept bringing up Dragon Isles, and they've mentioned it so many times. We know the Black Dragon. We know the dragons are up to something. We know Rathion's up to something. So, new world boss, and it would make sense to have a son of Galakrond, who was the first dragon. I wonder if he would actually look like Galakrond. That's what we need, though. We need a Galakrond, like, time walking thing, like in the Caverns of Time, because I would love to see all the dragon flights and Tyr taking this guy down, because he was supposed to be enormous, so much so, like I said, Tyr's hand gone. He like ate other dragons, and he just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And like I said, it's some, he was able to just regurgitate these dragons. They were undead dragons. That's how fucking crazy this thing was. And if he wasn't brought down, and if he wasn't killed, God knows what kind of you know, destruction he, not only to the planet, but he could have gone to other planets and destroyed those too, just consuming everything. I mean, it's possible that he could have gotten onto Titan level if he just started, but then I'm sure the Titans would have stepped in. I'm sure the Titans would have just been like, I'm sure they would have been like, okay, well, I think it's time to take this dragon down. He's causing too much mayhem, and we're beings of order. So, sorry, dragon, you gotta go. Sargeras, do your stuff. Although this probably would have been after Sargeras, you know, before he went crazy and all that. But like I said, generally I like this idea. I like the idea of going to the Dragon Isles. I've been wanting to go there for ages. I like the idea of the black dragons and the world shaping, and possibly seeing the fact that time flows differently on the Dragon Isles, which is why things are able to be the progenitors but be more advanced than everything else. World shaping, spectral sight and treasure finding, teleporting. I mean, I would love to see revamped older zones. I mean, it's about freaking time. So, yeah, that's the 10.0 leak. Whether it's real or not, I mean, it's just always fun to talk about. But let me know what you guys think. Do you believe that this could possibly be? Because there are some points where people have come out with leaks and they were, in fact, correct. You know, people were leaking Shadowlands, and turned out the next one was indeed Shadowlands. So, and if this isn't the next one, what do you hope to see in the next one? You know, and that means everything. I would love to see you guys write something like this. You know, give me your ideas. You know, I'd like to read them. But yeah, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.